welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here on YOUCANIC we have a 2018 Toyota Rav4 with the 2.5 motor. And we're going to go over how you would replace your alternator. Your alternator is what provides power to keep your vehicle running and the headlights working, and it charges up the battery so you can continue to start it. So sometimes the alternators will wear out and they won't be putting out the proper amount of amperage that you need to keep your battery charged, and so you'll need to replace that when that happens. So to start with, to do this, we're going to start with removing the negative battery post, and so that we don't have any power going through it, because there is a connection here that if you, on the positive here, if you touch it and ground it, you're going to spark yourself, and you don't want to do that. So I'm going to start with undoing that. That's just a number 10 bolt, or nut over here on the battery post. Just loosen that and remove the negative cable. So the power has been disconnected, and so we won't have any power in the system. Now, we have a decent amount of space here to be able to reach in, but this right here, which is the radiator overflow reservoir, it's very simple to move out of the way. It's just two number 10 nuts, one on this side and one on the back side here, that you can loosen and remove. And there's an overflow hose here. You would just unhook that, and that hose just goes so that the water, if it overflows, it goes onto the ground. And then you will just be able to pick this whole thing up and be able to set it over here so that you can get better access right down there. So I just picked it up and moved it over here so that we have easier access in here to get to what we need to do. We also need to take the belt off of the pulley here, so that when we undo the bolts here, there's just two bolts that hold this alternator on, that it doesn't just jump on us. So to remove the belt, we need to release the tension. And so we can release the tension by using a 14 millimeter wrench. And we get onto the tensioner and pull it toward you, or the front of the vehicle, and that releases the tension, and now you'll be able to pop the belt off of that. And then just ease that tension back. Okay, so we've released the tension, got the belt off to the side out of the way, and now we'll just proceed to remove a few other things, so that when we remove these other two bolts that hold it on, we have ease to remove it out. So there's a little clip right here for this clamp, which you just need to push it back, and then you can pull this to get this to move up and out of the way. And then we also have a number 10 bolt right here to be loosened, which will undo this bracket that is holding all of these other wires together that go down to the AC compressor. So that out of the way, and then we need, right up in here is the lead cable that connects to there, and we're going to want to pop that cover off and then undo that bolt. So you should be able to just put a just pop that cover up and off, and now you'll have a bolt in there to loosen. Which is a number 10. Now you'll be able to pull that off, and then there is one electric connector down there that we just need to squeeze and pull off the back of the alternator. And so that's all the connections that are connected there. And then that way we have the ability to move this stuff out of the way when we undo the other bolt. You're going to take your size 14 and you're going to reach down to the bottom of the alternator. Okay. So remove that bolt, and then we've got the top bolt here that we'll need to remove, and then we'll be able to pull the alternator. Now this bolt's going to be fairly long. And so we've got that bolt removed. And so with those two bolts removed, now we can remove the alternator. But see, the alternator, with this bolt, it pulls in a slide pin that compresses this together. So we need to put some type of leverage or pry bar in there to get that alternator to move out. Be careful not to be breaking that sensor. That is your, for sure that's the oil pressure sensor, but go. So now that all undone, and we should be able to just pull this alternator up and through this hole. To make it easy, we'll just undo this. There's a number 10 right here to undo from this clamp, and then we'll just be able to pull that out with no problem at all. There we go. Just need to loosen it a teeny bit and push it up out of the way. And now we'll be able to just pull our alternator out. And so that's how you would remove your alternator on your 2018 Toyota Rav4 with the 2.5 motor. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.